Hi, welcome everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining from. You're welcome to our live stream today. Welcome to class today. Welcome to class today. How are you doing? How was your day? How is everything? Red Wine is here saying good evening. Thank you, Red Wine. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Thank you, Elijah. Welcome everyone. Let me know where you're joining from. At least this one, they are my familiar students, so I know where they are joining from. Joining from Abuja, that's good. So please let me know how was yesterday. What did you learn yesterday? How was our live stream yesterday? I need to see that feedback. How was it? I hope it was not waste of your time yesterday. And I hope you learned something new concerning money. Emmanuel, you're welcome. Emmanuel from Abuja, Johnson from Abuja, Red Wine from Kano, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, great. Johnson is telling me that it was splendid. Fantastic. It means it will be good to attend. It was good to attend your class yesterday. That's from Elijah. Thank you so much. I believe many people who are joining today have missed a lot, but they still have the opportunity to go back and listen because I decided to keep the recording for some time before I can take it off because some of the things I shared there yesterday were so important. In fact, this afternoon I have to do a short live. It was just me just coming up to cry. I say, oh my God, I made a lot of mistakes. Mistakes I wouldn't have made. I made them. So it was not like I just came. I think if people join and the video is even available. So for some of us who are here today, thank you so much for joining. We are going into the business of today after the introduction. Yesterday, I learned that money must have boundaries to be useful. Thank you so much, Mr. Redwine, for this. So this was what we discussed yesterday, that the money you have must have boundaries for that money to be useful to your business. If you just have random money with you, that money will be useless. For the money to bless you, it will rather bring problems, challenges, a lot of headache for you. We spoke extensively about that yesterday. Thank you, Mr. Redwine, for bringing that today. So if you want to raise money, you want to raise 50 million, you want to raise 10 million, oh, you're looking for just 1 million. Now that 1 million is coming to do what in your business? That was what we identified yesterday to be boundaries. That 1 million you want to raise as capital is coming to do what for you? Is coming to help you to do what? When that money comes and you invest the money in that line, the money now have boundaries. But when you don't do this and money comes, you'll be frustrated, honestly. You'll be moving as opportunities present themselves. This was what we spoke about yesterday. As opportunities present themselves, that will be how you'll be investing your money. And at the end of the day, that project will not work. The project will fail, not because agriculture is bad, not because you're a bad person, but you fail to create boundary for that money. So we spoke about creating boundary for your money yesterday, and thank you, Mr. Redwine, for bringing that. Thank you, Mr. Redwine, for bringing that. So make sure the money you're looking for, you have designed the boundary for that money already. So the capital you're looking for, you should have a solid boundary for that capital. Don't just be saying, oh, I need money, I need money. So straight to the business of today. Today we are going to be looking at why agricultural project collapse after raising funds. Now, referring to me, I don't know about other people who have raised billions and billions, but I'll be using my own self to teach you, my own self to share my story with you, what I've learned, the things, the mistakes I made, right? So this is not me saying, speaking for other companies, but you and I know that a lot of agricultural businesses failed in this country, and many of them came out around 2019, 2020, when crowdfunding was very popular. People were raising money online, and some of us blindly copied some of those patterns. And at the end of the day, what we were even building that was growing gradually, the fast money came in and it grew. But guess what? Yesterday we learned that fast money can grow a business, but fast money cannot make that business to stand and grow, become profitable. So these were some of the mistakes that I made. So when the money came in, when the money came in, we now saw that bro, it's above money. Okay, so as I was saying, some of us, we also followed people who were raising funds through crowdfunding. We raise a lot of money and the money sink. And the sad reality is that if you're doing business and it's your personal money and the money fail, you will just cry. Nobody will drag you. You have no court case. You will just cry within yourself for a few days and life continues because it's your personal pocket money. But when it's other people's money, you need to give a lot of explanations. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. So we now started explaining ourselves why the business failed. Some of us, we blame a lot of systems, we blame a lot of people. But after calculating carefully myself, I've gotten to understand that look, some of these challenges is because of my fault. I have to be honest to admit that yes, it's my fault. So I will be sharing with you today the mistakes that I made after raising the money. After the money I was looking for, I was thinking if money comes in, I'll do well. And the money came and the project failed. What were the mistakes that I made? What were the mistakes I made? So today we are also going to look at some of the mistakes I made when the money came in. So raising money was not a breakthrough for me. We have started officially now. Welcome everyone. Welcome to class. Get your writing material set with you. You are going to do you're going to get some notes, because at the end of the day I would love to answer questions. I would love to get what you have learned from all these studies. Today is day 2 of our money business. We are discussing money here. So the first mistake, or the first thing I want you to know for today, is that raising money is not actually a breakthrough. For me, it was a test to see the system I have, a test to see the knowledge I have, a test to see whether I understand agriculture or I understand agribusiness. So that is what you need to understand. And me, at the end of the day, I saw that I only knew agriculture, but I failed to understand agribusiness. So starting with the pictures, just as we did yesterday, you can see that the first picture here was when I was constructing my poultry pen. The first house you're seeing here was for layers, the other one was for broilers. They were all massive facilities. So you can see me in the layers pen there after we have finished the construction and stock. So my experience is this: raising money felt like progress. I felt, oh, I have now made money. Remember what we spoke about credibility yesterday? I had a good credibility, I had personal credibility, and that was what brought money for me. My business had not yet gained credibility. The people who invested money with me never invested due to the business credibility. So I felt like it was progress. But yesterday we learned that progress must not just be your own personal credibility, it should also include your business credibility. But it was actually the beginning of my biggest problem. And I will explain to you why I say raising money was my biggest problem. It affected my body, affected my academics, affected relationship, affected a lot of things when I raised money. So when the money came in, the real problem started for me. So this was my experience with raising money, because we are discussing about managing the money that you have raised so far. This is what we are discussing today. So if you can hear my voice, please let me know in the comment section that you can hear my voice. Welcome, Mr. Anthony, to today's class. If you can hear my voice, please let me know that you can hear my voice. Let me know that we are together. Okay, good. Mr. Redwan say he can hear me. Thank you so much for the feedback. So I believe everyone can also hear. So we are looking at raising money, and I'm giving you that from my own personal experience. That money was not a blessing for me. It was not a progress for me. But at that time, because I didn't have the knowledge that I'm sharing with you today, I felt it was progress. I felt the business was doing well. Meanwhile, it was me, the owner of the farm, who was doing well. The business was not yet doing well. So this is the first thing that we normally face after raising money that many people now shut down: poor cash flow planning. Money does not feel bad structure. We spoke about that yesterday. That money exposes it. The structure that you don't have, don't think when money comes in, the structure will then appear. No, it will be worse. So poor cash flow planning. Now, what is cash flow? Or let me say, what is cash flow planning? Cash flow planning simply means when money will be coming into your business and how the money will be going out of the business. So I decided to put these two pictures here so I can use them to explain this thing very well for you. Now, if you're raising money to start a poultry farm, most likely you need two things. The first thing is you need three things, but let's do the two now. You need to get birds. So you can see my birds here, my day old chicks here. Then you need a pen. But what you're seeing here, this is my staff quarters. When I was building my staff quarters in 2020 in my farm, this is a 3-bedroom flat that you're seeing here. Now, guess what? If you're buying these birds to keep in your farm, you will need to build a pen, a house to keep the birds. The money you're going to invest in building this pen, it will take you nothing less than 2 to 3 years for you to get that cash back. But because you did not plan well, you didn't explain this to your investors, or you didn't factor this in when you're raising money. You thought you just need to buy chicken and keep, but you forgot that you're doing 50 chicken. Now, once you raise money, you'll be operating 1,000 chicken. The 1,000 chicken that will be coming in because you have raised funding will not be able to stay in the old pen. You will need to build a new pen. Now, when you build a new pen, you have tied down money in physical assets. They are not bad, but guess what? It will take you time for the asset to give you the invested capital back. So this was one of my mistakes. I did not plan for this. I did not factor in, oh, this money that I'm raising, I'm investing part of it in assets because I needed those assets so that the other money that is coming in can work well. And if I'm investing in assets, it therefore means it will take me time. So I cannot promise you today and say, oh, give me 50 million by next week. Give me 50 million. Let me invest it in a pig farm. By next month, I'll be able to pay you 20%. No, 20% of what? Because the pen, the money you have invested in assets are there. The money you invested in assets are there. And that money will take you time before you can make the money back. So you don't have to make that promise. So if you know when your business will start generating profit, then you will be able to understand cash flow well. You will know what to promise people who are bringing money into your business. So I never knew this. I did not settle down to plan because remember, I'm doing rice processing and I bought machines worth hundreds of millions from China. They brought the machine to Nigeria. I built a very large warehouse, installed the machine, and that machine will start producing money for me, but it will not be profit. And guess what? It will not make sense if I'm not paying you from the profit the business is making. This was one of my mistakes. Poor cash flow planning. You're investing in assets. That asset need time for the asset to grow, to pay you, so you can pay other people who invested money with you. So like I said, the structure was bad and money came and exposed that, look, you are not yet qualified to receive investors' money because you are operating on a business that need a lot of physical assets. So if I'm giving you 10 million today, that 10 million should be able to stay with you for nothing less than 1 year, 2 years before I will be able to start seeing a certain percentage from that business. I never knew of this. So that was the first mistake I made. That was the first mistake I made. And it was not funny. So you too, from the other end, if you're looking at, oh, I want to raise money for my project and I need a loan, I need this one, can you settle down and plan? If you receive that loan, how long are you going to pay back? Don't just use emotion. And if I tell these people that let them drop this money for 4 years before I pay them, they will not invest. Honestly, they will not. Very few persons will be willing to invest in that kind of business. But even if they don't invest, you're still fine, bro. You're still good. Your business will grow. Don't be in haste. Oh, I need bank loan. You go and collect bank loan without understanding the cash flow. At the end of the day, you'll be frustrated. I don't know if I'm making sense. What was the second mistake that I made? Spending before system were ready. Remember yesterday we spoke about systems. That this is what grow agriculture, not money, not the livestock. System. What was the system? Yesterday we spoke extensively about system. I don't want to go there, but it's one of the mistakes when it comes to managing funds. When you have a system and money comes in, the money will be managed well. System, the money will be managed well. It will not be that, oh, it's when the money came in that you're not planning, looking at what to do with the money. No. So we all have to understand this. So the mistake I made, I don't want you to do the same mistake. That is why I'm telling you that don't just go and raise money. No. Set the system. Put in a system in your business first. So that when money comes in, there will be a vehicle that will run that money. If we are together, let me know that we are together. Now, the third thing you have to also understand about fund management, where many people face that they underestimate operating costs. I did. Oh my God, I can sleep on this one. There were many things I underestimate. So just look at these pictures now. This is me, billionaire farmer, right here. Can you see this picture? This was my body, like my physical body, when I've not raised money from anybody. When I was by myself, I was feeding well, my business was doing well. I was doing it on a small scale, but I was getting good money. 1 million, 3 million, 4 million. I was not disturbing anybody. Nobody was disturbing me. So I was a free agent. I'll go to gym. I was trading more. I have one of my staff that will just help me to supply. I was going to gym morning and night. Apart from Sundays, I was going to gym morning and night. As at this time, I was still in school. Sometimes I'll go to gym before going to lectures. Bro, I was my boss. I underestimated that, look, the money you're raising will put pressure on you. Now, look at the second picture. Can you see this person here? I became so fat. Can you see my stomach? If you can see my stomach, let me know in the comment section that you can see it. How many of you can see the big stomach that is there? I underestimated the operating cost of raising 1 billion. So if you can see the transformation, let me see. I was very good. My body was fine. I was healthy. Then when I raise money, normally, I'm not a big man. I'm supposed to look more fresh. But that freshness that I now had was because I was going to the gym. I was stopped going to the gym. I was going to the farm every day because the capacity was now enlarged. But if only I had a system, someone say, I see Mr. Ibu type of stomach. You're not nice. You're not nice. Why will you say Mr. Ibu? But I just want to understand about money. When money comes in, remember what you said yesterday, it will expose. Money is an amplifier. When money came in, the person like me who was going to the gym every day, keeping my body healthy, I stopped because there was no system. So I was the one to go to the office, attend to clients, go to the farm, direct on who to give chicken feed, direct on who to operate the rice machine, attend to customers that want to buy machine. I also need to attend to some people who are going to do the delivery. All this job on a normal day we are not supposed to be my own. If only I had a system. Remember we spoke about system. All of you have seen the stomach. Can you see it now? I became so fat. I became so big. Odogu stomach. These my people. You people are not nice. But that was the effect. Now, guess what? You can't tell me that when that new me, I was healthy. We cannot accept that the other version that was going to gym was more healthy. And coming of money into my business was not supposed to stop me from going to the gym. It was even supposed to help me to be more healthier. If only I had a system, I would have a system such a way that by this time I am going to the gym. So I'm not worried who is going to do this. No, this social time is my gym period. Then my fan is managing, is going on well. Bro, I stopped going to the gym. I was doing so much. Remember what we spoke about, wrong money. It will put pressure on you. So the pressure I was going through was to make sure I satisfy my investors, I satisfy my clients, my customers who are buying rice from me or fish. I need to make sure they are happy. I was doing extremely too much for my body. I stopped going to the gym. So I just want us to see that so you know who is speaking here. This billionaire farmer, see stomach. When I saw this picture, I said, oh God, help me, see me. Can you see my body here? Ah, don't raise bad money, my friends. But we are looking at underestimating operating cost. We'll do that in details. I'll show you guys more. Now, imagine when I now raise money and I needed to manage the business. I now discovered that I was managing human beings. That was now my major responsibility. It was not the livestock. And guess what? I was more perfect in doing livestock business and machines. I have mastered chicken business. So anytime I'm not in the farm, I'm feeling that this my staff, they are not doing everything well. If my chicken die, my investors, how will I pay them? I need to pay out 50 million this month. I need to pay out 20 million this month. So guess what? I was under pressure, under tension. And I noticed that, see, remember, when I started, I was the only person, a small fan. I was doing well. When I expanded to 600 capacity, I had one staff that was managing the chicken with me. So if I'm not around, if I go to school, he's doing the business. So I had less headache. But when I now raise money, I increase my production capacity. Guess what? I now have staff. When staff came in, my responsibility moved from managing chicken, which I've mastered, operating rice machine, which I've mastered, to manage human being. How many of us know that managing human being is one of the most difficult tasks on planet Earth? If you know that, drop in the comment section that I know. Let me see how many people that know that managing human being is more. People should leave my stomach. So they say Pablo's stomach. Managing human beings is more difficult than managing any resource in business. If you know that, type I know in the comment section. Let me see it. That was my problem. That became my biggest issue. It was not that my chicken were not doing well. I was now to manage human beings who will manage the chicken. But guess what? If only I have a structure, the structure will come in place, or the structure will be in such a way that I will now have a qualified human resource management team that will manage my staff for me while I focus on what I knew how to do best. How many of us know that companies do that? In some big companies, which my company too got to that level, they have a different department that manage human beings. The owner of the business have no business managing staff, because at the end of the day, he might be emotional. But when you now have an expert whose responsibility or whose expertise is in managing human beings, you can focus on the area where you also are expert in. So when I was not an expert in human resource management, any of my staff that does something that is bad, I can get angry and sack the person. Meanwhile, I ought not to do that. Or any of my staff can use emotions and not to work, and I will just overlook it. But if only I have an expert, the expert will know how to treat those people who don't want to come to work. Comedy bus stop say, I prefer to manage cows than human beings. I prefer to manage cows than human beings. This is what comedy bus stop is saying. Honestly speaking, is the most deep. But let's be frank, there are other people who are good at managing human beings. God have given them that. How do I put it now? Is their mantle. God have given them that mantle. They are good at managing human beings. They know how to assign duties. They know how to assign responsibilities. They know how to discipline people who default in their duties. They are very good at managing human beings. There are people like that. When they speak, everybody respects them. There are people like that. HR, yes, big companies do it. So someone like Dangote now, Dangote has no business with who his driver is. No, that is not his responsibility. Mike Adenuga has no business who his customer cares are in the Glow office. No, there are people who know how to choose people that will be customer care, that work with Glow. That when you call them, they will know how to speak with you. It's not the owner of the business that does that. But guess what? When I raise money and it was now time to manage that money, send that money to work to do proper work, I was now weak. You see the other picture where my head was down. That was me. Oh. The money that was supposed to be a blessing for me, bro, that money was a big curse for me. It was a curse for me. I realized, see, my rice processing section on a normal day will have more than 20 people who are working there. Then when it's now season, say Christmas season, we have a lot of casual staff. When we want to load, we'll bring them. When we want to offload, we'll bring them. But then how to manage those people? Oh my goodness. I was now the one doing the job. I remember what I said, the owner of the farm. So there are areas where you use emotions. You will use emotions instead of being tactical. So if you're looking at, I'm selling food stuff, but I need, if I have like 10 million, I will sell more food stuff. What you're looking for is problem. When that 10 million comes, guess what? You alone, you will not be able to manage that shop. You will need staff. And when those staff comes in, your job, you will now graduate from selling to managing human beings. This is another mistake. Many people who, after raising fund, they fail. They now have a large network of staff to manage, large number of customers to attend to, and they feel they can do all these things together and the business fail. This was my mistake too. Going forward, if I have my company, if I build my company to a big stage where I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 staff, I will not be the one managing the staff. I will get someone who is good at managing human beings, who is good at sharing responsibility, holding people accountable to their responsibilities or duties. I will stay aside and focus on the area where I am expert in. This was me when I sat down and I was evaluating myself. I saw that, okay, one of the mistakes you made, billionaire farmer, was that you were also trying to manage human being, which was not your expertise. And I failed at that. So it's another mistake that I will advise everyone who is looking at raising fund not to make. Now look at my rice processing equipment. Some of them, so one another thing I underestimate was the cost of running a rice factory. Yeah. Aside of the human beings, my people, is not easy. Let me tell you the truth. It's not easy to run a factory. I underestimate the cost. I never knew. When we started, we were buying diesel at 150 naira per liter. So in a day, we could use like 100 liters in the factory. But guess what? Along the line, the price of diesel move from 150 to 320 naira. I still have the receipt with me. Remember when we started, before I collected your money as my investor, I've done my calculation. I know that okay, the price of diesel is 150. So this will be my cost of production. But then after giving me the money, now it's time for me to manage the money. But because I never calculated, now I need to be buying fuel at double the price I told you will be my running cost. Now guess what? The return investment I promise you has also been distorted. Thank you for this. Someone say human capital is the is one of our biggest problem in Africa. It's heavy one o. It's very heavy. Human capital, oh God, managing human beings in Africa is not a child's play. Thank you for adding that. So what I was telling us about my rice factory, guys, when I raised the money, the whole idea, the cost of production was very, very small. And before you know, I was buying diesel 150. The price moved to 320 naira in less than 3 months. And I still need to pay people who I have promised them fixed return investment. Why things have changed? They will not hear that story. If you call them and start telling them that, oh, and that return investment I promise you, I will not be able to pay you again. Oh, you're looking for trouble. So you can see that raising money is very easy. For them, managing this money is very difficult. Is very difficult. I made this mistake. So going forward, if I'm raising money from anybody coming to partner with me, there are certain things. I already know these things. I know what to tell the person. I know many people will not love it, but all business wise or people who are good at investment, they will know that what this guy is saying is true. When they look at the information that you're giving to them, they can settle down, look at it and say, yes, what this guy is saying, there's window for increase in production. Cost of production might increase. In fact, there are some people that when you're even too too loud, they know you're lying. So it was one mistake that I made. I underestimated it. Guess what? When the machine came in, oh, this part have spoiled and we need to fix this one. Oh, this one just broke. Now all these things we never calculated them. Oh, now you need to bring an engineer to come and fix this. I remember when my rice machine got burnt, one part in the machine got burnt, and we needed an engineer that will come and detect what the issue was and to fix it. Brothers and sisters in the Lord, we search for engineers in this our country. They now recommend one guy for me. When I spoke with the guy, Mr. Stephen told me that he will not be able to come by road to Benue State. And guess what? We don't have airport, or let me say functional airport in Benue State. So I needed to pay this guy's flight from Ebonyi to Abuja. Then from Abuja, he will use road down to Benue State. So all these things, guess what? My cost of production is increasing. My cost of production has increased. Has increased. And what I promise you, I will not be able to meet up with it. Okay, Mr. Redwan say one of the major difference the African between Africa and white man is human management. Yes. I think I'll be answering some of these questions sharp sharp. Now, Mr. Drew said, with the advancement in solar, if you had to do it again, with solar substitute for generator, yes. In fact, I don't care. See, I will even prefer to even spend 200 million to install solar that can power my machines than even looking for either NEPA or even generator. If I have the power, I will not even bring any NEPA or generator to my facility. This is for us who are from Nigeria, where we don't have light. Solar is the best. I know bringing solar that can power a 30 tons per day rice processing factory will not be cheap. But guess what? In the long run, it will save you more. I was watching on news where they were saying the presidential villa, that is the Asu Rock, they are disconnecting from the power, the is it band A, they are disconnecting the president house from what we are using. They are installing solars. They are putting solar system in our president house. The president of Nigeria is installing solar in the presidential villa. Who is me and you? Who are we? Who are we not to install solar in your business? Forget about Nigerian NEPA. They are not willing to solve that issue. Sadly, they are not willing to solve electricity issue in Nigeria. I was in Ghana. I say, God, what is this? I was like, these Ghana people, what kind of transformer are you people using? Because I've never heard that transformer has blow in Ghana. So wetin dey solve for this una country? What kind of cable are you guys using? Because in my beloved country Nigeria, you will hear that solar NEPA generator, this one don blow, oh the cable don scatter. So for we in Nigeria as a business owner, not to insult your country, but you have to work with what is working in your country. So as I make this video today, national grid is not stable. If you depend on it as a small business owner, it will suck your blood. It will suck your blood. So the best thing for you to do is to do what? Make preparation for solar system. Someone says solar is the future, especially for us. Maybe for other people, they don't even care. But you see that this is our country. Make sure you have good solar in your farm. So I spend a lot of money on this. I didn't plan for this. I never made estimate and say, okay, Omo, I'll be spending up to 3 million. In fact, I was spending over 3 point something million naira, I think, per month on diesel. Yes, that was because we are operating nothing less than 19 hours per day. And we will be on generator, monitor that 19 hours. It was not easy. Now, here is a brutal reality that you have to know about fund management, about raising money and running this business. The first thing you have to understand is that revenue look exciting, especially when you have a business plan, you go through it, you see, oh, since I'm doing this, I can produce 1,000 chicken, I can have 1,000 layers. Oh, this 1,000 layers, this is how much I'll make. I was consulting for someone this evening. He's based in the UK and he's looking at starting a poultry farm. So one of the things we spoke about was, I was telling that you don't have to be too excited, but poultry farming is profitable. When you look at your books, you will see how much profit you will make. And if you're not careful, because of how good it will look, you will blow the business. And at the end of the day, you will lose. So when money came in, I was seeing that, bro, I'm doing 30 tons per day. On average, I was making nothing less than 20 million per month. I was making over 600 to 900,000 per day. So it was so exciting. But then operating costs was also not reluctant. It was growing. Operating costs was growing as the business was also growing. So you have to know this. Operating costs is the real business, because as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, how you manage your cost of production is how you make profit. How you will be able to manage your cost of production determine how you make profit from that business. You have to understand this very well. So you can see that your revenue is coming in very large. You're doing 20 million per month, but peg that 20 million with your own cost of running the business. You're operating a rice factory. You're making 600,000 per day. But how much went out per day? And remember, you have debt to service. You have people to pay. So can you see some of these problems? Can you see some of the challenges? All these things, I never knew then. Then managing the business collapsed. So operating costs is the real business for you. And guess what? Even staff are among the operating costs. I hope we know that staff or payment of salary is a cost for your business. You have to also know how to pay salaries and still make profit. As a business owner, your responsibility is to cut down the cost of production. You have to learn how to cut down your cost of production. And this was one of the questions that someone was asking me here, that if I'm to have back that kind of facility, will I think of solar? Yeah, solar will cut down my cost drastically. The only difference is that the amount of money I will need to be able to start with solar installation might be very high. But guess what? Once you install the solar, you have cut down power failure in Nigeria especially. So you have to know how to cut down cost, because that is the real business for you. What are the operating costs that you need to cut down as a business owner, as a farm owner, for you to be able to make profit? The first cost there for me, in my own case, because I was into livestock production, was feed. The second one is labor. Remember, we spoke about human resource. It's not just you about employing people. You employ people and start paying them big salary, but the salary you're paying them does not match what they are producing for you. You will fail. Even if you have 1 trillion, that business will fail, because the staff need to give you something that is more than what you're paying them. That is how business is. If I'm paying you 100,000, it means your direct performance to that business supposed to be generating me nothing less than 1 million naira for me to pay you 100K. So controlling your cost of labor is also very fundamental for you to remain in business. Another cost, operating cost, you have to also maintain or control is power, which we have just spoke about it. Then how about maintenance? It's another big cost. And this machine don't spoil, we need to buy this one. Oh, this chicken don't do this one. Oh, we need to do this one. We need to buy this one. Then how about your security? Goodness, I have to start this one red. Let me start this one red. Security. Hey, I want to see it in the comment section. Type security. Then I'll tell you what security means as operating cost for you. Type security in the comment section. This is one area where many African business owners don't take serious. Security of their investment, security on that farm. Many people don't take security serious until it's too late. I also made a mistake. I made that mistake. I want to see you type security in the comment section if you can hear me. I'm watching. Thank you, Mr. Collins. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Security, oh my goodness, is a very big cost that you have to know how to manage. Now, guess what? When it comes to security, if you're too careful, you also shoot yourself. If you're too careless, you will still shoot yourself. So for me, I made that mistake. I did not have solar system installed in my farm. I did not. I remember when one of my security guards, the guy will come to the farm, he will stay in the farm, because many times I normally leave my farm around 10 in the night, sometimes 11 in the night. So when I'm there, this my security guy be on the farm. Once I leave the farm, he will leave. So one day, God wanted to reveal who this guy was for me. I went back and it was around 12 in the night, 12 a.m. And I said, let me come back to the farm and check something. No, what happened was that I bought rice. So they were bringing the rice to the factory for me. And the driver called me around 12 a.m. that they are in my farm and nobody to open the farm, to open the gate for them to offload. I say, my security guy's name was Charles. I say, Charles is there. And they say, nobody's here. He has home. Nobody's here. I say, okay, don't worry, I'm coming. So guess what? I called Mr. Charles. I say, Charles, where are you? He said, yes, sir, I'm in the farm. I say, okay, open the gate. They brought rice to offload for us. Open the gate. Guess what? The guy off my phone, off his line. I picked my card. We rushed to the farm. Me and my wife, we went to the farm. We stayed on the farm. Oh, we didn't know what to do. I have to get someone to spoil the key for us to enter to the farm and then offload the rice. The next day, when he couldn't even come back to the work because he have sacked himself. But I didn't have solar system in the farm, and there was no cameras on the farm. Cameras will not stop you from stealing, but it will help you to see things on the farm when you're not there. And I was speaking with one of my friends a few days ago, and I was telling him that if I'm restarting this kind of project, bro, there will be so much number of cameras in my farm that even an ant passing or speaking will hear. And guess what we are going to do? The of that farm will have a control room separate somewhere where your job coming to the farm is to settle down and watch the camera for me. That is your job. I'll be paying you. Because one thing I've learned in Nigeria is that many business owners, they will install solar on their farm or install solar in their business, and there's nobody there monitoring the cameras. So it will be after incident, maybe someone stole and ran away. They will now come and be watching the solar. See the person clothes. Can you help me and see this person? If you see this person is anywhere, direct us to the person. No, I will not do that. I will install cameras in my farm. There will be cameras watching every angle in such a way that even your voice, there will be cameras that can pick what you're saying in that farm and send it to the powerhouse that is outside that farm, connected. It will not be me sitting to monitor the farm. So let's take, for example, now I am based in the UK, and then I have a farm in Nigeria. And that farm, I invested a lot of money because people invest a lot of money and they don't take the security serious. They will go and employ one baba somewhere, and that baba will now be the security of that farm. But you're forgetting that you invested hundreds of millions. In my own case, I invested hundreds of millions of my own money and other people's money, and I was careless on security wise. I trusted people too much. I trusted people so much that I believe, oh, this guy will not steal. Oh, this guy will be responsible enough to feed the chicken when it's time to feed the chicken. Negligence is what your camera can help you to detect. I did not have, as at that time, the security I have was staying in the farm. But what I'm saying here is this: going forward, and for someone who wants to go into agriculture, I would advise you to also invest heavy money in security. You should employ people who are qualified to be security, maybe even a government security, or get a license gun for that person if your country or your state allow that. And then aside of that, we are living in the world of tech. Install good CCTV cameras everywhere where your facility, where your investment is. In fact, we have cameras these days that can even pick speech, and you can speak from where you are. and everybody within the premises will hear you. These are the kind of cameras or the kind of tools, technology you should be installing in your farm where your business is. Don't trust people to that extent. Have a security system, and I'm not saying install cameras then go to work, then when you're back from your job you will now sit down to be watching the camera. That is what many Africans do, and it has never produced result for them. There should be someone watching the camera lifetime, or let me say real time. There is someone watching the farm real time, all the angles. Bro, I will do that. I will install, I will invest money. Like now in my room here, I don't mind changing the entire wall here to be full of screen. Screen from the poultry pen, screen to the rice processing, screen everywhere, all the angles in my farm. Then I will employ someone that your job, that person have no access to the people who are in the farm. You don't even know them. They don't know him. His job is to wake up every day and monitor the farm, monitor activities. When it's time for to do this, a system will ring. There will be an alarm that will alert everybody, like a very sound alarm to tell people, bo, 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 time to go and feed chicken. Bo, 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 time to go and offload rice. Bo, 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 time to off the operating machine. I will have all those things. So my people, security, you see why that security is in red. Goodness, don't joke with it. Why I'm saying this is that people invest a lot of money and they don't invest in security. That was me. Remember, we were speaking about managing funds. The money has been given to you. How you now manage the money, and for that money to produce result for you. Don't think human beings will be obedient, will be faithful to do all that they need to do. You must have a system that will watch them real time and give instructions. Thank God for technology. We should be able to invest money in that. Invest money in security. In fact, I consulted for someone this around 1 p.m. Nigerian time. We spoke and I forgot to mention this to him. So after here, I will send in voice note. Baba, invest money in security. Invest money in security. Get qualified people to be security on that farm. And then have another security system that is monitoring the security that you have in that facility. I don't know if I'm making sense, but this is part of fund management, because the money has now been given to you. How you manage it. And I also want you to know that these are not one-time costs. Remember, we spoke about maintenance. If you are going to install all those kind of equipment, technology, maintenance will also be high. So you can see that when people now raise money, they underestimated operating costs. So now when the money comes in and they open a business, they are now, oh my God, I never thought this thing is like this. So you never knew that there are some of your staff that can steal eggs. And when they steal the egg, it therefore means your profit or your revenue has been distorted. So what you calculated that time, knowing that 10,000 birds will give you 50 million or 100 million, someone is somewhere stealing. And you have no system or you have no security measures to track or stop or a kind of reduce, because human beings, you can't stop them. But a kind of system that we caution people. I was speaking with one of my guys that's in UK. I told him that you see how UK people will love it and say, oh, I love how everything is organized here. It's not because people that are in UK, they are good people. One of the reasons why UK is organized and you people are not there, you are enjoying the place, is because there is punishment for offending or for offenders. They have security measures that monitor you, and when you fuck up, they punish you. So because of that, you're being compelled to be now. You can be a rugged person in Nigeria, but once you land UK, US, Canada, you are compelled to be a good person. Someone is asking me, do you have a mentor that you look up to? I have a mentor. Before now, I did not have. I didn't even know it was so important for me to have a mentor. But as I speak with you now, I have a mentor. I have like two. When I want to do anything, I'll just send a message. Alpha boss, I want to do this. What do you think? What do you think? And guess what? I didn't even go to them and say, be my mentor, like what many people do. They just saw what I'm doing and they just loved me like that. I have one of my mentor that this year, what he did for me shook me. Till today, I'm still thinking what I would do to that man. He's also into Agric. If I call his name, many people will know. But I will not call my mentor's name so that you will not know him. But I have a mentor. That's bad. We have a mentor. So let's move to another fund management mistake that we made, which is the fourth one. Fourth one here is what? No buffet for shock. Or let me say no room for shock. When raising fund, projections are usually built around best cases, expected cases, and what? Normal. How do I bring this thing up now? Few minutes. Call me few minutes, few minutes. Okay, yeah. I want you to see this very well. Okay. So like I was saying, when we raise money, the money is being given to you. Many times, we only see best cases. So I believe that this 20 million you're giving me, I must make profit. That was my foolishness. And that is what many people do when they want to raise money. All their projections are on all things being equal. This one will do this one for us. They never expected that, look, this business will fail or this kind of issue might come up. So this is one of the mistakes I made when it comes to fund management. Not that I was a bad person. When they gave me the money, I used the money to go and do dorime. No, I did not. But guess what? I did not prepare. All my projection was good, 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 good. I must make profit. I must make profit. But agriculture does not operate in a normal. It operates, you have to be careful to say, worst case scenario, what will I do? Shocks are not rare. They are normal. Price crashes. Input price can just go up. Weather disruption, like what happened to me in terms of flooding, and never in my life could ever think where my farm was that flood will be there, that the place will be flooded one day. Nobody have ever experienced flooding in that area. But when I was raising money and the fund were now given to me, flood came and it became another challenge for me. How about disease outbreak? I never thought of African swine fever. When my pig farm was going on well, I never thought that, look, African swine fever can come one day and you will lose all these pigs. Now, what happens to your investment if all these pigs die? I did not have plan for this. And guess what? It happens. And another shocker that can happen to you is policy changes. So you have now raised money. The money is now in your account. And then you hear government. This one comes from federal government. You will now hear one government policy. They will put it, they will announce it, and immediately they will implement it. Your business will now face challenge. This is not because you are a bad person, but government policies, they are shockers. Many of us lost a lot of money in agriculture this year. Not because we did not know about storage or trading of agro commodities, but government policy came in and it shook everyone. So policy changes is another shocker that when you raise money that can make that entire project to collapse. When we raise money, we are not looking at my business will government. Some of us that did storage this year, we know what happened. We lost a lot of money in storage. I know people who lost over 50, 60, 70 million. They bought rice and this storage thinking the price will increase, they will make profit. Now they are in 0 naira. They bought beans, this storage. Government brought a policy and started importation of food, and guess what? They lose all the money that they invested. So let's assume you collected the money from someone. How will you explain this? You collected the money from investors and did storage, and then government policy came in and it affected the projections that you are having. In fact, it even affected the capital. So even if you resell, you will still not make profit. How can you explain this? These are some of the shockers that happened to me. And then it looked as if maybe I was very bad with managing money. No. I remember when we raised money then, COVID-19 that time, and then federal government banned everything. Many businesses went down till today. They were not able to recover to do business again. So we have to know that as we are raising money. When the shocker came, there was no breathing space for me. I had no reserve. There was no emergency liquidity. I'm going to explain all this. All funds were fully developed. Oh, I have to put this one in red. All funds, all the money that I raised, I invested it in one way or the other. There was no cash reserve anywhere. We are going to speak about cash reserve. And I say buffet is not idle money, it's protection money. You have to keep money that will protect you. You have to keep money that will protect your business. Not that all the money that you raise, you will use all the money to buy chicken or build a pen. No. When you raise money, part of that money should be kept liquid like that somewhere. Now, let me show you some of the companies that we have in the world and how much cash they have in reserve. Even the federal government of Nigeria, the federal government of Nigeria, they also have liquid cash. The same thing with US, the same thing with UK, the same thing with Canada, the same thing with all the countries of the world. They have cash that they save somewhere. It's beyond raising money. When you raise money, you need to have part of that money not invested in assets, not invested in any form of investment. It should be cash like that in bank. You need it because when challenge came, sometimes it could be very basic. You need urgent 1 million to solve and you didn't have any cash reserve. So this was my mistake when it comes to fund management. All the money that I raised, I invested the money in assets. I invested the money in stock. It's either I use the money to buy rice to keep so that I'll be using to process, or I use the money to buy plenty chicken feed so that I will not run out of feed, or I use the money to buy a lot of many other things. They are not bad, but I am saying that it is wrong for you to try to manage money like that. Don't do that, because if you raise money, you need to keep part of that money in liquid cash in your bank account. The volume of cash I raise, I would have keep like 100 million in my account. That money, we are not touching it. It is called emergency funds. When there is issue that require urgent money and I need to wait until we sell rice, the issue will kill the business. But if there is cash like that, I can easily go there, pick the cash and sort out the issue. All companies have this. All countries have this. Go and do your search about Federal Government of Nigeria cash reserve. They call it cash reserve. You see how much our government have in reserve cash. Go and search about US cash reserve. Go and search about UK cash reserve. Search about all the companies that you love, top companies, global companies. You will see that they have cash. Someone is asking me here that he say, did all these things happens to you because you have too many businesses open about the same time? Yes and no. It was not all because I had many businesses. The truth of the matter is that there was no system. That was the major cause of my failure. System. It's not about having 10 businesses or 20 businesses. You can have 50 businesses. In fact, all the global companies we look up to, they don't have one business. They don't. They have a lot of businesses, but they have systems to manage all those businesses effectively. Tested and trusted systems that manage and run those businesses. But I never have the structure and the system that could run the businesses that have plenty. So that was the issue. It was not because I had plenty. In fact, let me tell you the truth. So when my business was going, I now saw that, bro, I need cash. Oh. Cash flow is king in Africa, because in Africa, we don't have, what is this? In Africa, we don't have credit system. So if you're operating business as an African entrepreneur, you need cash. You need cash flow. So what happened to me was this. When I saw that I needed cash flow, I said that, okay, if I add layers production to this, layers will be giving me money every day. So we added layers, which is another mistake, because you're bringing layers, but what is the system to manage the layers and also manage the rice factory? So as I speak with you today, if I'm going back into food business, as I'm rebuilding my business, I will not be doing one business, but I know the kind of systems I will have in that will manage those businesses for me. That is that. I don't know if I've answered that. A few companies that have cash reserve. Amazon have about 123 billion US dollars in cash. In cash. Meta, which is Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, have about 85 to 90 billion cash reserve. This one is not invested in anything. They keep this money for problem. If wahala come that need money now, within 24 hours, they can go there. Microsoft, which is owned by Bill Gates, one of the richest investor of all time, have about 120 to 123 billion US dollars cash in reserve. Our own Dangote group of companies, or Dangote Cement, has about 363 billion cash in reserve. How much do you have cash in reserve for your business? Remember, profit can grow your business, but you need a buffet of cash to protect it. In Nigeria here, when you don't have money, you very small things like this will harass you. I don't know whether I'm making sense. So if you don't have cash reserve as an entrepreneur in Nigeria, oh, you face a lot of challenges. So we need to have that cash. You need to have cash. So I want us to close today with this understanding that when you raise fund, don't invest all the money that you have raised in physical asset or in stock. This is the plenty grammar that I'm speaking today. Managing the fund that you have raised. Yesterday we concluded that you need structures, you need system before you raise money, because the system and the structure will be what will give direction to the money that is coming in for you. And today we are concluding that when the money come in, don't invest all the money in buying asset or building asset or buying stock, investing in materials, raw materials. No, have part of that money as cash reserve. That one you're not going to touch it until the issue is up to your neck or up to the neck of the business. That cash can come in and push the business to be able to survive. So this is what I want us to know. So why my business collapsed and why many other agricultural businesses fail, in my own understanding, is that after raising money, they were excited, they were happy, they invested the money in assets, they bought a lot of assets. Then at the end of the day, challenges came and there was no quick money somewhere for them to touch. And guess what? When issues like this come and you don't have any cash reserve somewhere, guess what you will do? You will start looking for a loan, or you start looking for more money to put in the business. And when you're putting in more money, remember the analogy we gave yesterday about basket and water, that when you pour water in a basket and the water goes out, it's not the fault of the basket. It is not the fault of the water. It is the fault of the basket. It is the fault of the basket. So you have raised a lot of money. The money has been given to you. But guess what? You need to be able to host that money. You need to be able to absorb that money you're looking for, or the money that have come to your business. Someone say, but one business have to succeed first before opening another business. Yes, that one is accepted. That is what I'm saying. That when now, if your business succeed and you don't have a system to manage that one and you go for another one, it will still affect it. I've succeeded in poultry, bro. I've succeeded in poultry. I succeeded in rice processing. They were all different businesses, but under one person, I needed a system that can manage all. This is not a business that was operating on $5,000. My business was operating on nothing less than 1 million US dollars. Yesterday, I promised us that I don't want to be calling figures so that I will not sound proud. So I don't want to be calling figures. But what I'm saying today is that, in conclusion for our today's lectures, is me giving you counsel as someone who have raised money, that when you raise money, ensure that you have cash reserve. As you're doing business, as money is coming in, be saving money, be putting money up in an account that will act as your reserve. You made 50% profit. Don't use all the 50% profit to grow the business or to buy more stock. No, out of the 50%, you can move maybe 10% or 5% cash and keep it somewhere. That is how these companies that have listed out here do. So if you have gotten value from today's class, let me know in the comment section that you have gotten value. If you have gotten value today, let me know in the comment section that you have gotten value from today's lectures. Thank you so much, Mr. Redwan. Mr. Redwan, he has gotten value. If you have gotten value from today's video, please let me know you have gotten value. Thank you, Janet. Janet is part of my mentees. Say she has gotten value. We appreciate your effort and time. Thank you, Mr. Dre. Say he has gotten value. Thank you, Mr. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for joining today. I was speaking with Mr. Drew and he told me that I shouldn't be making long videos, that sometimes he will sleep. So for that, thanks everyone for watching. If you have questions, you can go ahead and ask. If you have a contribution that you have, and maybe you want to come live on screen, you can let me know and I will give you invitation where you can come. If you have gotten value, let me know you have gotten value. If you have a question, you can ask. But then my final word to you today is that some companies hold cash, some companies build assets, but the smartest ones balance both. They have cash, they have assets, so they are not stranded. If they need to sell anything to raise money, there is something to sell. If they need money urgent, there is money, liquid cash somewhere. So if you're investing in agriculture, you have a farm, you should also be planning to balance this. Don't only invest your money in assets. I invested a lot of money in assets and I did not have any cash. In fact, when I had issue and I was taking, people took me to sell to prison, I didn't even have money to pay few debts. I didn't have money to even pay a lawyer. As a company, we didn't even have money to pay lawyer to go to court on our behalf. But I had assets that were worth hundreds of millions. And we can't even turn those assets to cash quickly. Because when you're now at distress and you want to sell, you know how it will be for you. So this is me advising you that part of the ways you manage your fund is for you to have cash reserve, and is for you to understand operating cost very well. So I believe we have all gotten value today. Thank you, Mr. Drill from the US. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Mr. Anthony. Thank you, Janet. Drill is asking, do you all have cooperatives where you can borrow from? No. We don't have cooperative in Nigeria that give you money. I have not seen anyone. Maybe there is, but I've not. Thank you, Mr. Is it Apas? Apas guest. Thank you so much. If you have gotten value, let me know. If you have a question, let me know. And thanks you all for watching, for starting. Stop that. For starting with me from the beginning to this time. Thank you so much, Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins was here yesterday from the start to the end, and he's also here today from the start to the end. Thank you so much, Mr. Collins. Thanks everyone for watching. And thanks all the people who are going to watch the replay. I'm always available. If you have a question, you can drop it in the comment section. And if you want me to consult for you, you can reach out to me either through my email or through my WhatsApp. And also, if you want to join my mentorship community, you can also reach out to me on WhatsApp or on my email, and you'll be part of the mentorship group. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for watching. We have been here for more than 1 hour. I don't take your sacrifice for granted. I see that you are all looking for knowledge. I see that we all want to grow. We don't want to make money mistakes. Thank you, Mr. Peter, for joining and for staying out from start to the end. This shows that, see, you can see that some of us who are here, based on the people that I know, many of us here already have businesses, already building something nice. So you want to add knowledge to what you're doing. But many people, they are still there looking for funds, writing business plan, looking for money, thinking all they need is let them have the money, then their business will grow. This is one of the issues we're having in Africa. I was consulting for someone this afternoon, and we spoke about training of staff. Many businesses in Africa, they don't train their staff. They don't train their staff. People just, I don't want to go there. Thank you, Mr. Redwine. So if you have a question, you can drop it in the comment section and I will attend to it. Thanks everyone for joining. If you have a question, you let me know. If you have gotten value, let me know. Thanks everyone. So may we not raise money that will kill our business. May we not raise money that will kill our business. As business owners in Africa, as farm owners in Africa, may we only raise money that will grow our business. Okay, someone is asking me a question here, that is it good to start pig processing without making plans for storage? It's not good. Answer is very straightforward, very simple. Is not good. If you are going into meat processing, you must make room for storage. Time for questions. Yes, the storage, you must have a cooling system. So if you have questions, you can drop. So I'm just waiting for a few minutes before we close for today. I just want everyone here who have joined, if you have a question, don't forget to ask. If you have learned something new today, don't forget to also let me know what you have learned today. That will also be good for me. And what do you think I should do better so that in the subsequent, because tomorrow is going to be the last day for this series. It is a 3-day series. We are discussing about raising money, managing money, growing your business. So tomorrow we'll be looking at the last day of this series. So tomorrow, the same time, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, will still be here. So if there's anything you want me to discuss tomorrow, you can let me know. If you have a question, you can drop it and I will attend to it. Okay, Mr. Redwine said, I've learned the security problem. Oh my God. Invest money, invest money in securing your investment. Don't just build the farm and leave the farm to be there. Don't just buy land, buy equipment and leave it there. You need to invest money in security, in securing that investment, that fund that you want to go into. No matter how small the fund is, no matter how big the business is, you need to invest money in security. And like I say, security is not just you trying to see if someone is stealing from your fund. It's above that. You have to monitor your business real time to know people who are being negligent. They are one of the biggest issue we have, especially when it comes to livestock production, is negligence. Maybe a staff who was supposed to feed the birds at 7 in the morning is lazy and the person got there around 12 p.m. It will affect the productivity of the birds. And when it affects the productivity of the birds, it will reflect on you, the business owner. Your bank account will be what suffering. So you will need to have a system that monitor your farm for you, that monitor your investment for you real time. Someone is asking, are we still on tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow is the last day for this series. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, we'll be discussing about funding, and that will be the last for this series. Then we are going to continue on business plan writing, how to write a business plan for your agricultural company, for your agricultural business. This I've also learned that many people who are into agriculture, they don't have a written document that guide what they are doing. They don't have a written document. They don't even do feasibility study. All they know is that I can buy battery cage and keep chicken inside and sell the chicken and make profit. So I've decided that I will teach us how to write a simple business plan for your farm by yourself without paying any expert. This is what I do for a fee. I write business plan for as low as 250,000 naira, but I'm willing to teach people here for free. So that series will start maybe next week. or maybe after my boot camp training in Kano. For some of us who have signed up for our training in Kano, after the training, then I will do another training online, or will start another series on business plan writing. I want to write a business plan live here with us. It will be live here on the screen. We will start the business plan, we will write the business plan to the end, so that you can know how to write a business plan. So you can write a business plan for your own farm, for your own agricultural trading company. Every business should have a business plan, or every farmer should have a business plan. Number one, we spoke about raising fund. One of the easiest way for you to raise fund many times is to present a business plan to your potential funders. Nobody will just, many people will not just give you money. They need to see a business plan. So I want to teach us how to write a business plan. So that series might start either in March, because after here, by next week, I will be busy with my training. Janet is saying, thank you for the business plan. Yeah, thank you. I want to teach us that. I want to teach us how to write a business plan. How to even write, do your your financials. I believe that is where we even start from. How to do your financials, your financial projections, 3 years, 5 years, how you can go about that. I will teach us that in details. So you need to have, if you have your laptop, it will be good that as you're coming live, you put your laptop by the side, because it's going to be like a practical training. As I'm typing on my screen, you're also typing on your screen. So if you have a laptop and you want to learn how to write a business plan, I will advise you, if you're joining that series, you come with your laptop, so that will be going practical. You're learning lifetime. You're seeing everything by yourself. So that series start in March. It might start in March, not this month, because by my calendar, next week is my training. My training is starting on the 20th of February to 21st. So by that next week, I will not be able to start it. And after that training, I'll be attending one ceremony. So our business plan writing series is starting March. So if you are interested, okay, Peter say what he have learned today is to have extra cash saved for raining day. Yeah, many times we only see this saving thing for only your business. You as a business owner, you can have your own personal cash saved for your own self, but your company should also have cash saved for the company. I remember when my business was having issues, I have my own personal savings of 10 million. I have to use that 10 million to pay company debt. And then I was now broke with 0.0 naira. So as you're doing your savings for your personal self and also for your company, it's advisable that you also have your own personal savings. Few minutes, I'm coming. Let me pick something. Mm. Okay, someone said that would be great. I believe that is for the business plan writing series. See, if you learn how to write a business plan and you are able to do it well, and you now take it as a serious business, you make a lot of cash. I know how much I make from writing business plans. So we are going to discuss. Well, I'm going to teach you guys that in March. So if you have questions, you can ask. If you have contribution, if you have learned anything new here today, let me know in the comment section what you have learned today. Thanks everyone for joining. We continue tomorrow. So today we spoke about why most agricultural projects collapse after raising funds. So when money comes into the account and money is no longer the problem, why do companies still fail? And I listed out some of my own personal experiences, and I believe you learned a lot from them too. So thank you all for joining. Good night. Thank you so much for watching. For those that will be watching the replay, thank you so much. So for today, this is how we are going to close the class. And like I said, when you raise money, manage the money based on a standard system that you have designed for the business. And also have cash that can sustain the business in time of need. So thanks you for understanding. We'll continue tomorrow on this series, and may God bless everyone for watching. I remain Denison. You can call me Billionaire Farmer. And if you want to reach out to me, maybe through WhatsApp or through my email, they are being displayed right there on the screen for you. If you want me to consult for your project, you want to raise money, you need a business plan, or you just need a consultant that can guide you in your agricultural journey, my WhatsApp number is there, my email number is there, and I will be glad to work with you on your project. Thank you so much. Stay blessed and have a wonderful night rest. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Anthony. Thank you, Mr. Redwine. Thanks everyone for watching.